Welcome back to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahue Accounting Services. A leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio, our top-notch accountants strive to help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahue Accounting Services today for a free consultation at 513-528-3982 or visit online at donahueaccountingservice.com. I'm your host, Alex Meacham, former Bearcat basketball player from 1997 to 1999 under the Hall of Fame coach, Bob Huggins.
And I'm Neil Meyer with the Front Office News.
And I'm JT Smith, editor-in-chief of the Front Office News.
All right, fellas, we are back for another episode. But before we jump into it, Neil, quick check-in. Have you watched Coming to America yet?
I have watched it. I did watch it the other day.
You've not given us any updates yet. Now,
Nope.
First of all, I'm proud of you.
I did not know that was the movie where he goes, "Good morning, my neighbors." That was a good part. Could you see?
Wait. You watched that whole movie, and that's the part that moved you?
No, that was the movie where it finally came to realization, because you always see the memes and whatnot of that part. Yes. And then finally I was like, all right, now I understand where they're coming from.
I got you. But that was not the best part of the movie, right?
No, that was not the best part. That was not the best part.
I was gonna say, then we have to have another conversation if you thought that was the best part. Can we get a quick grade on the movie?
I would give it a B.
Okay. JT's not happy about your B, but
B, man. But it's okay. It's cool, man. It's all right.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think my favorite part would be the argument in the barbershop.
That
scene.
You know, those were all Eddie Murphy except one was Arsenio Hall.
Yeah.
Yep. What was your least favorite part of the movie?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I didn't really dislike many things about the movie. That's the thing. I liked it. I thought it was pretty funny. I wish I would have watched it a lot earlier and kind of got to the script a little bit better. But once you watch it a little bit more, you kind of understand it. I think it's better to watch it when you're older than when you're younger.
So you gave it a B. What comedy would you give an A to?
That's a good question. I'm not a big comedy movie guy per se, but I am a big Adam Sandler junkie, a Will Ferrell, a Jonah Hill. Those are my kind of comedy movies I really watch. The stupid ones per se.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll probably have some other stuff for you to watch and listen to by the end of this podcast. Always seems like we do, Neil. So the first thing I think that we've ever recommended you watch, listen to, has been Coming to America, correct? All the other, you've not seen. I
haven't seen Cujo yet, and I haven't watched Gilligan's Island yet. I need to watch those too.
Oh God. I can't wait for you to see Gilligan's Island. You're gonna be like, "What is this?"
Man, that's gonna be wild.
Oh boy! Sure. All right, let's jump right into it. The Bearcats are currently 15-10 after losing to Iowa State, 70-81. This is the Bearcat game recap segment sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. JT, thoughts on the Bearcats' performance?
Well, they scored some points. You know what I mean? I don't think they backed down against Iowa State, which is a good thing. Just had, late lapses. We're not going to blame the refs, but, second half, I think the whistle was called a little different. You know what I mean?
We're not going to blame the refs, but we're going to blame the refs.
We're going to blame the refs. I'm going to put a little onus on the refs. It ain't always that, it's a couple plays you can make here and there that could fix it no matter what the refs do. But, TJ talking to the ref, for 20 minutes after the end of the first half, a little different, but I'll say this. They lost by 11. They had a chance later in the second half. Couple misplays burnt them, but at the same time, they competed, and it wasn't like the BYU game where they were on the road and just got mopped. Shout out to Kansas right now, getting as we record, taking the belt to backside situation. But I think they showed the most, man. Something that the Bearcat fans, I know they lost, but they showed something against a top 10 team. Had them on the ropes. I mean, I think they played at least 34 minutes where people could have something to cheer about. So, I mean, and no moral victories, but I feel like this is probably the toughest team that they're going to face, left on the schedule. And that, no disrespect to Houston, but they're definitely second. But if they can play like this and clean up a few small things, I think this can be, they can finish the season how people want them to finish. At least they will have a chance if they can show the heart they had against Iowa State, a superior, arguably a superior team. They deserve to be on that court with them, but just some minor stuff. You got to rebound the ball a lot better for sure. But they definitely had a chance. How about that?
Yeah, there was definitely some home cooking with the referees. It felt like, during that game, but you can always go back and look. And I know coaches always go, okay, yeah, the refs were bad, but we didn't do this.
Yeah.
We were really bad in this category. And the Bearcats can point to many things, JT, for the reasons they lost. That had nothing to do with the referees.
100%. 100%. It was a mixture for sure. And like you said, if you do certain things right, you can overcome referee shortcomings or whatnot. But yeah, so it is what it is. But I'm more glass half full after that loss. If they would have went out there and just got manhandled, I would have been more glass half empty. But it gives me hope. So, call me a homer.
I agree with that because I was concerned going into this game, and it's 39. Was it 39 and a half? Is that right?
Okay. Yep, yeah, especially after they started down by 15 at one point.
I think 12 was they were down 12. They ran off, a good run, and was up in the second half for a little bit, So, this was a game I thought was going to could possibly be a 20+ point loss. I'm not going to lie about that. We talked about that at the pod. Shout out to Oakley Greens. I definitely thought it was a chance that this could have gotten real ugly, and it showed me a lot. And I said if they kept it, close to the 10-point margin, that I would kind of honestly be happy. I mean, they would show that the 3-game winning streak wasn't just them playing against teams that technically could be lesser opponents per se.
Yeah. I think all three of us had this game as a loss.
Yes.
We had that. And that was kind of, if we could sneak one out, get a win. And JT mentioned on the pod, if we're competitive, you'd be happy with that.
Yes.
It's tough. It is so tough on the road. And you're going into, what was Iowa State, number 10 in the country? I don't know.
Yeah, number 10 and 30-1 in the last 2 years at home.
It's so tough. I was talking to Travis Steele, Miami's coach, this morning, and they had a game tonight. They ended up losing on the road, and we were talking, and he was actually getting ready for shoot around, and he talked about, man, he's like, I don't care what league you're in, it is tough to win on the road in conference. It's just the way it is. Now, the Bearcats just happen to be in one of the best conferences in America, and you're at the number 10 team in the country, Iowa State. So I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, we're leaving here heads high because we were competitive. Yes, we could have done some things differently.
Yeah.
Maybe walked away with a win, but at least it wasn't a 20-piece, JT.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because you get 20-pieced out, be 30. You know what I mean? If you get it where people they putting everybody in and everybody's just doing what they want, that's demoralizing. You already in a hole per se that you dug yourself, and you're trying to get out of it. But every day you're trying to take something to get better. I know it's middle of February, but every day you're getting better. So hopefully, and then this is something you can build off of. It's not like, I know you'd rather have the win, of course, but man, I was losing to Iowa State by 11 points and having them, you know, on the ropes a few times. It's nothing to sneeze at for sure.
Yep. Neil, sorry, we've not let you talk very
Yeah,
much.
my bad.
No, you're good. The biggest thing to take away from this game, obviously, you guys touched on the officiating. Me personally, Jizzle James's fourth and fifth foul did not occur, and I'll stand by that. They did not occur because both the whistles came. Jizzle James was nowhere near the play.
That's
Like,
true.
The fifth foul was horrendous. Like Jizzle
that
was
was
literally
crazy.
8 feet away from the basket and got
Very
hit for the fifth foul, and then at that point you take out your leading scorer in what was a moment of where Cincinnati could have made a run potentially too. But speaking of the foul discrepancy in this one, Iowa State goes 17 for 21 from the line in the second half. Meanwhile, Cincinnati went just 2 of 3 from the foul line. So a little whistle heavy thereafter. TJ Otzenberger had that little conversation heading into halftime, but it's the home court, I guess you can say. I guess you kind of get those calls when you're 30-1 at home over the last 2 years. But overall, this was a game too, guys, where Cincinnati could have easily rolled over in the first minute when they found themselves down by 12 when they trailed 27-15. They could have easily taken their foot off the gas and say, okay, they're out ahead. They got all the momentum clicking right now. But they chose to fight, and I think it all starts with Jizzle James. I think he has really taken I wouldn't say a little leap. I think he's taken a massive jump for this team and this program over the last 2 weeks. 4 straight game of 20 or more points. He actually becomes the first player since 2008 to score 24 or more in 3 straight games, and the last player to do that in UC history was Deontay Vaughn.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
So,
good. Did you do that research, or did you find that, or did somebody tell you that, Neil? That's good
SID, shout out David Cohen gave us that bits of information. And Dan Horde also tweeted it. So
damn.
To,
I thought it'd be SK. That's crazy. Damn.
Yeah. So, but on top of the negative aspects in this one,
hold on. JT, it does seem like SK would have done that.
Yeah, I was on SK, because Deontay was before SK, so I know Deontay, he did have a hell of a run, but I didn't realize how elite that run was.
24 or more in 3 straight games was done last by Deontay, which is pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, we're not saying you're wrong, Neil. It's just like SK had such a great that
career.
Year was so good.
In that senior year, SK was the offense
cooking. But I will say, I don't think not for us to get off in a whole nother chat.
Yeah.
I don't think Deontay Vaughn gets his flowers enough, man, for holding it down. Yeah. You agree with that, man?
Yeah. I always use if Wes has the success that everybody thinks we all believe he can have here in Cincinnati, David DeJulius is his Deontay Vaughn.
For sure. No question.
I always say that.
I agree.
And I feel like if he gets to where he wants to be, where they're consistently making a tournament, making deep runs, we're going to look back, and I feel like he's going to be that same guy. Deontay Vaughn never gets his flowers, but dude was a killer in the Big East. And, they didn't have much, and, everybody knew Deontay Vaughn was going to score. He still scored.
Still. And did Deontay Vaughn ever get hurt? He was just, didn't get hurt, didn't come out the game. Man.
Dude, it was crazy. You knew, he was playing against some dog, UConn, St. John. He was playing against some
Big East.
Yeah, the Big East. When it was still Syracuse was still Syracuse. You know what I mean? It was some teams, man, and he was putting up. He was giving people 30, 20 every night. Every night you could count on him to get you 20.
We were lucky to get him because I think he was supposed to go to IU.
That makes sense.
He was going to IU. So
yeah,
definitely lucky to have. Sorry to venture off, but
my bad.
No, that was good because I'm glad, Neil, you brought that up because Deontay Vaughn anytime his name is mentioned on this podcast, we got to give him his flowers.
Yeah, we gotta show my man.
Yeah,
some love.
absolutely.
Cool dude too.
Very cool dude. Sorry, Neil.
But back to the recap of the game. Another big thing to take away too in terms of the foul discrepancy. Josh Reed's technical foul. I'm going to be the first to say it. That was an awful whistle. Awful whistle. He gets a deflection and smacks the table, knowing like if in a player's mindset, right? You get a deflection, you're amped up. Like, you get the deflection, it goes out, and you're like, okay, let me go. Let me get another deflection.
Yeah.
Like that's just all emotions. And then what was it? A minute and a half left, and you tee him up after that. Every player would have done the exact same thing in that situation. But to tee him up over something so small like that.
Let me say something, Neil. Terrible call. I agree with you. Terrible call. Terrible technical. I think for several reasons. One, it was a good game. You hate to make a call like that to change the momentum of the game. But I would love to. I think these referees need to be held accountable for their calls. Like there needs to be a press conference, right? Yes. Like there has to be.
They get to just dip out. Like it's like, all right.
Yeah, it like, drives me crazy.
I could just throw the smoke. I could go Batman, cover up, and I done messed everybody's life up, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gone.
And you're gone.
I'm out.
So, and what I would love to ask him is, would you have given Josh Reed that technical if he did the same thing on the Bearcat side? Because he hit that table on the Iowa State side, correct?
Correct.
Would they have given it to him if he did that near West? Maybe not.
Or would they have made that call if that game was at Fifth Third Arena? Probably not.
Probably not. That's another home cooking piece. So there are a lot of things to that. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and listen. Blame the refs all you want, but there are things we need to clean up.
Especially too, on that front too, getting out rebounded was the biggest difference in this one too, because you look down.
Man,
they got out rebounded. What was it? 37-19 in this one. That was the difference maker for me, because when you get out rebounded like that, especially in a close game, I think it was probably what was it, the 10 to 8 minute mark where they were cutting that gap. I believe it was 64-59 if I remember right. Like they closed the gap, and then Iowa State gets, what was it, 2 straight possessions of 3 offensive rebounds a possession, and then you get that call on Day Thomas, which should have been a foul called but wasn't. That led to West getting the technical foul. And personally, I don't know about you guys, but I love the technical foul there because Day literally got punched in the mouth. No foul. So West gets the tech to kind of spark that kind of energy and was like, all right, it's going to be a physical game. Let's try and spark some momentum. And unfortunately, the momentum went into Iowa State's way. But overall, getting out rebounded by 20 almost on the road versus a top 10 team, it's going to be hard to win games when you are getting out rebounded like that on a night versus one of the best teams in all of college basketball.
Hey Neil, did you watch this game again? I know sometimes you watch a game twice.
Yeah, I didn't watch this game twice, but we watched it the first time together, obviously out at Oakley Greens.
Yep. The Bearcat game recap segment is sponsored by Purple Monkey Project. So I'm glad you just mentioned Oakley Greens. Fellas, huge shout out to Oakley Greens for having us do our podcast live on Saturday from 3 to 4 before the game. Had a great time. I just want to say, you think about, we just talked about Deontay Vaughn, SK, but you think about like all the former players that have played for UC and is there anyone more special than Corey Blunt? Just not only being a legend, his story, all the great players he's played for, but man, his willingness to join us, come on the pod, tell stories. Just one of the great dudes, JT.
Nah, for sure, man. Corey, cool as heck, man. Super cool. It was like, like you told us he's like listen to the pod, so he's like, all right, cool. But then, like, you see him in person, he's like, oh, man, like, he's, like, giving, ask what I'm drinking or, I mean, little stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, Corey really do watch. Corey really do listen. So that's pretty dope, man. Somebody that, like, has done so much for the program, just, like, super down to earth. And it's pretty dope, like, messing with, the fans that were there. taking pictures with the kids and stuff. A couple of homies got some pictures with him. So it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty legit, man. So, giving his stories too. Like, I didn't realize he played with Kobe and MJ. Like,
and didn't win a ring either, which is the
Magic.
And Magic.
And Magic.
Which is the craziest thing is he played with all three of them, and is probably the only teammate of all three to not have a ring.
There's no player in the history of basketball that played with all those guys. Just period. Like,
there's no way. He's got to be the only one. He's got to be.
Oh, only one. Like, and then like I've told you guys about the Tupac, the Dr. Dre stories. Like,
about the gear. Yeah. You told me. That's crazy. I didn't even think about that. I would have asked him about that.
We didn't even get into that, man. It's just such a humble, nice person. Great family. Like, his kids are great, and for him to be at the level he is, and when we finish the podcast, for those that didn't make it out, I mean, Corey goes and he sits with the Bearcat fans during the Iowa State game, and he's just chopping it up with everybody. We're sitting, and it was really cool. It's cool I was glad that you guys got a chance. I've watched a Bearcat game with Corey before, but for you guys to watch a game with him and hear him and talk to him about what he sees, man, just great.
You see it in a different way when you watch it with a great like Corey Blunt.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's dope because, like, that's how you learn a lot of stuff, man. Like, somebody play at that level, play in the NBA, and it's speaking to the game how he sees it through his eyes. So it's dope. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man.
Remember when he was interacting with those little kids, and the kid thought he was 5'11"? And then he stood up and...
Wait. Let me back it up, Neil. What was funny was, so we're doing the pod, and this kid, just like, I mean, I think he was what?
I think he was 10 and 12.
10 and 12.
The two kids were 12 and 10.
The first one walks over, and he's just like literally like just staring at us. I mean, he was just like a foot away. He's just like staring at us. I reached my hand out like, "What's up?" He's like, "What are you guys talking about?" While we're talking, I'm like, "This is too cute, man. This is funny."
What are you guys talking about?
You know what I love about it too is, like, Corey's there, and obviously, listen, the other thing too is, like, Corey's such a massive person too, like height wise and stuff.
Yeah.
You could like not know who he is, but see him and go, all right, he's somebody. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people were like coming by, walking by, and they would look at the three of us and like keep moving, and they look at Corey like, oh wait, hold on.
yeah.
Wait. Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just such a good dude. I go on and on about Corey. And by the way, it's this Thursday. Bob Huggins is coming back in town. He's going to be at Harrison High School for their sports stag, and a bunch of us former players have a table at the Harrison Sports Stag. Corey will be there. I'll be there. Andre Tate, Steve Sanders, Steve Logan. I saw Steve tonight up at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah, the workout gym. Steve will be there. It'll be a bunch of us all going to be there to support Hugs.
Yeah, Andre's a cool dude. Andre Tate's a pretty cool dude too. That dude be having me cracking up, man.
One of the best. We got so many. It's crazy that the Bearcats get such a bad rap. Like, like,
oh yeah.
You got all these. But like when you meet all the guys, it's like they're all. You know what I'm saying? They're like really good dudes.
Andre Tate. Like, it was funny. I used to live when he was coaching at Cincy State. Like, I was like, man, this guy's got to be somebody. But we just talked like we lived in the same apartment complex, and I would talk to him like every day. Like he'll be coming out, I'll be about to go to work or something. We'd be say what up, and stuff like that. And I'm like, hold up. So then like a couple years later, like I've started covering UC and stuff, and I see him at the game. I'm like, it's my neighbor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, yeah, I used to play here. I'm like, hey, what? I'm like, what? We done had all these conversations. I didn't even know. But he just was a cool dude, like super, super cool dude.
He was one of the original like big guards.
Yeah.
You know, just just a big point guard. Straight out of Chicago.
Yep.
Legend. He had a lot of swag too. Like, I always give him crap about this. I'm like, you were kind of ahead of your time because he had the high top box.
Yeah.
He wore a long sleeve shirt. He had like a wristband, knee sleeve like Jordan. Like he had all the equipment. He had all the swag. Oh man, but yeah, Tate's good people. And while we're on the former player conversation, this Saturday the Bearcats play TCU at home at noon. Roger McClendon is coming back. He'll be in the building. One of the Bearcats greats. And on the Bearcats Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook page, they did a Black History Month profile, and it was on Roger McClendon. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I might not have seen that one. Okay.
Make sure you read that about him, man. He was an engineer.
Yeah.
Has done amazing things in the corporate world. And another guy coming back is a guy named Romel Shorter.
Right.
He played with Roger, Tony Yates. He's one of the shortest Bearcat players ever. One of. He's from Chicago as well, man. Great dude. He'll be in the building as well for the TCU game. So hopefully they do right and make sure they honor those guys, bring them to the half court area. So
that'd be dope.
Yeah. Got to keep having the Bearcat legends, come back. And Neil, you posted that picture and put me as a legend. When I was in courtside with Corey, man, I was like, man, why would you say I know
people gotta understand the verbiage behind it, right? Because there's two legends. Obviously, you're a legend too, but now generational. Corey's the legend.
He is
the legend, correct. But then when we see somebody we're close to, we're like, okay, there's another legend of ours sitting next to another legend. That's where that verbiage came into.
I appreciate that, but I definitely do from a Bearcat standpoint, nowhere near, a legend compared to those guys, man. I bow down, man. Those are the guys, man. I'm just happy, and I tweeted that out, man. I'm just happy to be part of the Bearcat family, because if you think about it, think about all the great players that have played for the Bearcats. Oscar, SK, Kenyon, Corey, Nick.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wore a Bearcat jersey too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just
dope.
That's dope. I'm happy to be part of that fam. I'm humbled, honored. So definitely not a legend, but thank you, Neil. Last thing I want to say is we're going to do we'll probably try to do another podcast at Oakley Greens, maybe sometime during the March Madness. Hopefully our Bearcats are there.
Man, come on.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
We still got some work to do. So the Purple Monkey Project was formed following the tragic loss of 10-year-old Reagan Vanasse in May of 2021. Reagan was a ray of sunshine who lit up every room. The Purple Monkey Project is named after Reagan's favorite stuffed animal and seeks to keep Reagan's spirit alive by being a ray of light in the community and promoting random acts of kindness. By providing scholarships and other financial support of youth and youth-centered charities in Southwest Ohio. The Purple Monkey Project seeks to pay it forward, all in the name of Reagan. To learn more about the Purple Monkey Project, please visit purplemonkeyproject.org or visit them on Facebook at Purple Monkey Project. Now, this Wednesday at 7 p.m., the Bearcats take on West Virginia in Morgantown. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. Now, let's jump into the Big O segment sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. In this segment, we cover players to watch and key matchups. JT, we'll start with you. Who are you expecting a big game from?
All right, guys, we're going with a curveball, change up pitch, man, off speed this game. So my person for this, and shout out to the Bearcats baseball team, man, top 25 for the first time in history.
Ooh, I like this. I like that.
Yep. So go ahead.
Wait, real quick. So what's the Bearcats baseball team record?
They're 2-1.
2-1?
2-1. Series win over number 11 Duke.
Who else did they beat?
Duke in a 3-game series.
And then who they lose to?
Yep.
Duke.
They lost. They played Duke 3 times.
Oh,
was
they
a 3
okay.
game.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part.
And
My
the
bad.
one loss came in,
Yep,
what
yep.
was it, JT, the 12th inning on a walk-off home run.
I think so.
So they played extras. So Jordan Bishel and this staff doing work early in the season to get the program recognized there across the national media as well. So first time being in the
Yeah.
top 25.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. I
That's
didn't hear you
crazy.
say the Duke in the 3 game. I'm sitting there asking you who they beat, who they lose to. I'm like a dumbass.
No, all good.
My
All
bad.
good.
Back to you, JT.
No, my bad. All good, man. But I had to, you know, it was a segue, man. So I had to take advantage. But yeah, off speed, man. We going, you know, CMOS is, you know, hurt his shoulder against Iowa State. We don't know. So, you know, will he play? Hopefully he can. But if he does play, how much is he going to be himself? He's kind of not been, you know, the CMOS we saw early in the season anyways. And that's no slight. But the person I'm going with, man, Tyler Betsy.
Okay.
Bearcats are going to need scoring off the bench. And I feel like, you know, this will be a game where maybe, you know, people aren't going to have, you know, he's not going to be on top of the scouting report, but maybe he needs to play more than his 8 to 15 minutes because maybe CMOS can't go as long or whatnot. So I just feel like, you know, he hits a couple threes and maybe gets a little fast break layup, but I think maybe he can get 8 to 12. That's what I'm looking for him to kind of give him scoring punch off the bench and then kind of maybe be the pseudo starter if CMOS can't give it a go against West Virginia.
I tell you, you know, when I go to the practices and I watch Tyler Betsy, I'm like, man, this kid has so much potential, man.
Yes.
He has a chance to be one of those dudes. And it does kind of drive me a little bit nuts to how this new generation of the transfer portal and NIL. I'm sitting there watching Tyler Betsy, and I'm like, will he be here next year?
Yeah.
You know,
That's- that's-
it's just we've talked about this before, and he's a guy that I'm like, gosh, I hope he stays for as long as we can keep him here, 2-3 more years, whatever.
Yes.
I just think he's got a chance to be really special.
Yeah,
Sorry.
same, man. I just feel like, I feel like you give him a couple years. Like, I feel like next year he's gonna, because that freshman to sophomore jump is so significant. I feel like if we can keep him another year, I feel like he will make probably the biggest jump on the team.
Especially when you put him alongside Sean Abayev next year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's just a guy where you just throwing the ball as soon as he gets here. That's what he looks like. But I just feel like Bessie's going to be ready because he's seen the lay of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the potential, man. It's just, like you said, the portal is just it's so real, man. You can't act like it's the day of, people sticking it out is few and far between. So, just like, Corey said, at the Greens, he said, man, the portal was around when he was around. You had to sit out when he was, his first.
He said he would be getting $3-4 million in the portal, and he's not wrong about it.
Yeah.
He said he would have been the poster child of the portal.
Yeah. No.
So, hopefully he stays. But yeah, man, I think he's the guy that should has the potential to have a big game. I'm going with the change up on this one.
Cool. Like it. Neil, UC player, West Virginia player?
Yeah, so for Cincinnati, I think it still continues with Jizzle James. Obviously, being on the kind of tear that he is on over the last 2 weeks, he's going to need to control Cincinnati's offense, especially if they are without CMOS Lukosius in this one. And with Arrington Page also getting hurt versus Iowa State, Cincinnati might be pretty short-handed if those two aren't able to go. And obviously, CMOS Lukosius is a huge, big-time player for this team, but they're going to need somebody else to step up and score. And Jizzle James' confidence right now, I think, is at an all-time high for what it's been throughout his college career, especially now putting up 20 points in 4 straight games. He's got 24, 24, and then 25 in the last 3. So overall, they're going to need a big game from Jizzle James. And the reason I say that is because the first time these two matched up, Jizzle James actually, I'm looking at the score right now. Jizzle James finished with 0 points in that matchup, 0 for 8 in the first matchup versus West Virginia. So overall, if you're Jizzle James right now, this is a huge opportunity. Not only that you have your confidence back, but this is a good game to where you could get a huge win for Cincinnati and help lead that scoring offense to where you can still keep Cincinnati in contention for an NCAA tournament bid. Because if you look at West Virginia, they're in the same boat that Cincinnati is in. It's a must win to really kind of solidify their spots in the Big 12 or in the NCAA tournament without having to make some noise in the Big 12 conference tournament. So overall, I'm looking for Jizzle James. I think the biggest thing for me over the last 4 games of Jizzle James is his ability to create separation and knock down the threes. That has been a huge difference maker for him over the last 2 weeks because he finished with 5 threes versus Iowa State. He had 6 the game prior, and he had 3 down at UCF. So overall, if Jizzle James continues to knock down the 3 at that kind of rate where he's knocking home 4 or 5 threes a game, this could be a game where he has a tremendous impact.
And, real quick, Neil, Jizzle James, another guy, he was struggling. Like you said, he had 0 points versus West Virginia. He was struggling for that stretch. And all I heard everywhere I went around town, Jizzle's going to get in the portal, isn't he? Jizzle's going to get in the portal. He doesn't like it here just because he was having that stretch of not playing well, right? This is back to what we're talking about with this generation and where we are with the portal and NIL. And then he starts playing well. And it's still the same conversation, but slightly different. Everyone's like, he's going to get deported. He's going to leave because he's playing so well. Somebody's going to offer more money. And I'm just like, first he's playing, poorly, and you're saying he's leaving because he doesn't like it. Now he's playing well. He's going to leave because he's offering him. I'm like, man, just enjoy him right now. Like, just
that's all you can do. You got to enjoy it. You got to enjoy this team. Do the GM stuff in your head, like what they got to do to win. Because the team could look totally different. Just at least just be like, hey, even if he does leave, like, look, the good times. Because that's how it's going, man. That's how it is. It's like the NIL and transfer portal period now is like it's not uncommon for a person to play for 3 programs or more.
Crazy. Well, it begs me to ask the question, like, will we have any more like Bearcat legends? You know what I mean? Because, like, you look at maybe a Josh Reed, and he could be here his entire career. And I look at he's going to end up a good player for us, but maybe not a legend. You know what I mean? Will we even see that?
Man, the only way I see it happening, the way the lay of the land is, if somebody comes in via either freshman or transfer and they have like an All-American type year, and the Bearcats go far in the tournament. But that's the only way I can see it, because I don't think it's going to be, back in the day, it was like Kenyon stayed here the whole time. You saw him get better. He did this. So now he's a legend. Stokes, the Danny Fortsons, right? Like, they stayed there, so like they had the equity of it. Okay, he averaged 20 points 2 years in a row, or whatever it was, right? Steve Logan, the 4 years where he was coming off the bench like the pseudo 6 man, and he took over the team. So
I don't know that we'll see that anymore.
I don't think so, because like, imagine Steve Logan in the portal back. If the portal was like it was now, he's a 6 man. Everybody's gonna be offering him more money, and he's gonna be like, "You can come here and be the man now."
Peace, smell you later.
Like,
yep.
So that's where it's at. But I think it's either going to be a freshman that makes like a super big impact, and then maybe you get another year out of them. If they go to have 1 year stay to shine, that Bayev comes in and he has like this super big impact, scores, averages 17 to 21 points, and the Bearcats make the Sweet 16.
Top 5 or whatever.
Yeah, he gets drafted. He may have a chance to be a Bearcat legend. Or if we get this transfer in next year or two, and he comes in, averages 16 to 22 points, and he's like second team All-American, and the Bearcats made to the Elite 8 or something, then he may, because I think it'll have to change how the legends are made.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it won't be that homegrown as much, where it's
4
just like
years.
3 to 4 years.
That's
It's gonna be out the window. That's you're
but
cooked.
I agree with you. I think it could be like you said. You make a great point. Like a guy come in 1 year, lead us far in the tournament,
Yeah,
all out all year, have like some crazy numbers,
yeah,
go pro, still come back and support the program.
yeah,
People look at him as a legend, or you get a guy who gets in the portal after being somewhere for 2, comes here for 2, and does great here. Like let's say you get a David DeJulius type guy, comes in here for
yeah.
2, leaves out with great numbers, and so I could see that. But I guess what I was trying to say was like that 3 to 4 year guy. I just don't see that legend. So we got to change the criteria.
We gotta change
For
the criteria. Got to change a little bit, and we gotta get lucky.
yeah,
Because like,
yeah,
could
yeah.
you
Go ahead.
gotta
I'm
get
sorry.
somebody that puts the numbers up that makes them be a legend,
Yeah,
right? And then they
yeah,
gotta have the success too. You know what I mean? Like, so it's it's a seesaw kind of a situation, and you're not going to get the people that are there. Like, where if you get somebody that stays 4 years, that's great. That'd be dope, but it's not. It's few and far between now. Like, far as like, when you played, people were there and you knew what to count on. Like, if they were there 2 years, because they probably weren't coming from JUCO. If not, they're going to be there 4 years. They might get pushed out occasionally, but that's where they're doing something wrong, more on the goofy side. But it was few and far between because nobody wanted to sit out that year.
yep. And here's the other thing too. Think about this. My opinion. I think Steve Logan, Sean Kilpatrick, Danny Fortson, like numbers like that need to be in the rafters. Those need to be up there with Kenyon, Twyman, and Big
Yes.
O.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, will there be anybody else like
Man,
that? Like, will you retire another number? Because could 1-2 year guy even warrant,
man. Only way I see it happening is if somebody gets player of the year.
Yeah.
Like, if it's
yeah,
a 1
yeah.
year, 2 year guy, because they're not going to have the cumulative numbers.
That's a
But
good point.
they would have to get like the player of the year, a player of the year award, first team All-American. That's the only way I can see it getting done. But they have to have a special, like one of those one type of years, because they're not going to have nobody's going to have the cumulative numbers anymore. Like at one school, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah. I would love to see UC put together a committee for that.
Yeah.
In terms of the numbers that go in. Because I mean, listen, Logan, SK, Danny, they deserved
For sure.
there's no doubt. And I don't know. I'm not being critical, UC, because I don't know who makes those decisions. What committee there is, if there is one. If there is one, they haven't met in a long time because this shit should have been done a long time ago. But take a former player, i.e., a Corey Blunt, right? Take somebody that's maybe one of your board members, your donors.
Yeah.
Get a long-term media guy, a Dan Horde. Just naming some a diverse group of people on a committee that could make some of those decisions to do that. But man, we really got this turned into like the former player podcast of but no, all relevant to our topics. But Neil, I know we ventured away from you. You have Jizzle, and then is there a West Virginia player?
Yeah, I think it starts same player we went with the first matchup, Javon Small for West Virginia. Obviously, this is a West Virginia team that kind of anticipated on Tucker DeVries potentially coming back later in the year, but he ended up undergoing shoulder surgery, so he's out for the year. So Javon Small has picked up the slack since the injury happened to DeVries, and on top of it, he's averaging 20 points a game, and he lit Cincinnati up the first time these two teams played. He finished with 20 points, and in his 3 games at Fifth Third Arena over his career, he's finished with 23, 19, and 21. Damn. So he has a thing for playing against Cincinnati, to say the least. So overall, they find a way to contain him. Obviously, this game's on the road. They have a method or a game plan to kind of slow him down on the offensive end. They should be in good hands, but they got to find a way to do it because he's going to come out there and light it up. But for Cincinnati, what really defends everything and how to defend Javon Small is you just simply cannot let him shoot the 3-point shot. If you let him get hot from behind the arc, we saw what happened in game 1 because that allowed things for guys like Joseph Osefu to get going in the first matchup, which I don't know if you guys remember, that kid was a 26% 3-point shooter coming into their matchup versus Cincinnati 2 weeks ago. And what happened? He went 6 for 6 from the field and a perfect 4 for 4 from behind the arc. So you cannot let West Virginia shoot the 3-point ball and get hot from behind the arc. I mean, they're only shooting 26% from 3 as a team on the season. So really, essentially, you could let them shoot it, but just make sure it's not Javon Small.
The Big O segment is sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. So my pick, which I think I may be 1 for 18 this year. I got Josh Reed right. So I'm like 1 for 18. Right? I got Josh Reed right.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Day for this game. I'm just such a big fan of Day and his mentality, just his ability to want to lead this basketball team, which I can appreciate. So I always hope he does well. I hope this is a game where he can step up and have a big game. The Big O segment is sponsored by Smart Dog Solutions. Do you have a business that needs better inventory control, production management, or improved accounting control? Outgrown QuickBooks or can't afford NetSuite? Give loyal Bearcat grads Doug and Kathy Jacobs at Smart Dog Solutions a call. They have been in your position and would love to help you solve all your problems. They can be contacted at 513-739-9473 or online at smartdog-solutions.com. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the world-famous segment, The Name Game with Neil Meyer, sponsored by our people at Oakley Greens. It is time.
We're back, guys. You guys couldn't get the name game in person at Oakley Greens, but we're back. We're back.
Oh, yeah. Like, hey, Neil, I like your theme song wouldn't stop. I like the Birdman hand rub. Do you know what that is?
No, you mentioned it last time. I got to look it up.
Jeez. We got Neil. The Birdman hand rub comes from JT. I got to explain.
It comes from
Birdman. Okay, he was head of. You could call him a rapper. I don't call him a rapper. He was head of the record label, Lil Wayne. I guess you could say Drake is tied into that, right, JT?
Yep.
Okay, Cash was it Cash Money Records,
yes.
right? And Birdman is notorious for doing this all the time. He'll do this in a video. It's called the Birdman hand rub. And you know his famous rant, put some respect on my name. Are you familiar with that, Neil?
I've heard that one before.
Thank you, Lord. I was gonna say if you don't know,
Well, if you heard put some respect on my name, it's,
Put
man,
some respect on my name.
put some respect.
respect on my name.
All right, the name game.
All right.
The name game with Neil Myers, sponsored by Oakley Greens. So what we normally do is we take a look at the opposing team's roster and have Neil try to pronounce these players' names. And we talk about this over and over with the NIL stuff and players coming from overseas now. Because of that, there are a lot more foreign players in the States playing, and some of these names are either really bizarre, really cool, like Gob Gob, or really cool. Gob Gob is crazy. Or just like real smooth names, man. So now here's the deal. We've done West Virginia already because we've played them. So I've got to throw that. We're going to go back to that baseball thing. I got to throw a curveball.
All right.
Picked a different team. This time I've picked Vermont. Neil, get up. Vermont's basketball roster. What is Vermont's mascot? Shit, I don't even know. What are they, though?
That is a good question. Let's look.
Yeah, pull up their roster here and then tell me what their mascot is. I don't even know. What are they, the Wildcats or something like that?
The Catamounts.
I'm sorry?
The Catamounts.
The Catamounts? What the hell does that mean?
That is a great question.
Catamounts? Is that a certain cat? I'm
It's a
lion, like a lion cat? Like a lion?
Like a lion.
legendary mountain cat.
Okay. That's unique. Okay. Fair enough. All right, Neil, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Let's start with number 0 for Vermont.
Number 0 is Alary Ayo Filet.
Hey,
Oh,
Filet.
Filet.
That name is tough.
Damn, that's a hell of a name, dog.
He's got the dash in between the AO and the filet.
So
yeah,
it could have just been AO, or it could have just been Filet. I don't know.
I like that one.
Yeah.
All right, number 2.
Number 2 is Sam Alamutu.
Alamutu. I like the last name, Alamutu. Where's he from?
He is from Ajax, Ontario.
I've never heard of that.
Ajax.
Canada.
Like Ajax,
Cleaning?
like cleaning. Ajax. I forgot about that. You know what Ajax?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I always got to check. Always got to check now.
That could be definitely as an older.
For older cleaning stuff. Yeah, that's from back in the day. Yeah. Wasn't it like low budget?
Definitely.
It was low budget.
It definitely was a little bit cheaper. I had a lot of Ajax in my day, so shout out to my mom.
Ajax. Number 12.
Number 12 is Shamir Bogus.
I think one of the reasons I picked him was look at the picture. Click
the glasses and the headband.
The rec specs and the headband.
Dang, and he be giving buckets out.
Yeah, but click the picture and then look at his the background pictures that go on behind him. Majority of the pictures he has the headband and the rec specs, but then there's some that have him in contacts.
He giving out buckets though.
Is he?
Yeah, he's legit.
Yeah. Well, I say he sticks to the look with the rec specs and the headband. I like that look. Number 13.
Number 13 is Jace Rokumore.
Not bad. He's actually from Henderson, Nevada. Whenever I go out to Las Vegas, I stay in Henderson.
Oh, word?
If you ever go to Las Vegas, don't stay on the Strip. Stay out in Henderson.
How far away is it from the Strip? Is it far?
15, 20.
That's not too bad.
Okay.
Well, it's a really nice area. Like you can get a really nice hotel for cheaper because people just don't go out to Henderson. They want to stay on the Strip.
Save money. That's a good tip right there. That's good.
I'll send you a video of the last hotel I stayed in Henderson.
It's legit.
2-story pool. So the pool up top, like it was like this is like you walk out of the hotel, there's a pool area, but it has a waterfall from the pool top, and it goes down to a pool at the lower level. There's a lower level pool on the I guess that bottom level.
Was it an indoor pool, outdoor pool?
No, they're both outdoor. And then they had listen to this crazy. Listen to this. Then they had a man-made beach. So they had sand, and like a little body of water and like a little mini boat going. I was like, where am I? Like
at the hotel?
At the hotel. And I didn't pay like La Quinta prices, but I paid like Hampton Inn prices for it. It was, dude, I swear to you, I was like the only person there. I was the only person there. I felt like, where is everybody? Anyway,
Damn.
that's tip. Henderson. Stay out in Henderson. Okay.
Henderson. All right, that's good to know.
Yep. Yep. And I'm not a big Vegas guy, but if you do, all right. We're on to number 24. 24.
Number 24 is Shy Odom.
Shy. I like
Tight
that.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. He's from
Calabasas, California.
And he went to what high school?
Sierra Canyon.
And who went to Sierra Canyon, Neil?
Bronny James.
Yes. And KJ Martin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
And Kenyon lives in Calabasas, California.
Oh, you do? That's what's up. And who else
Yep.
went there? Did Scottie Pippen Jr. go there too?
Yep. Scottie Pippen Jr. went there too.
He did. And then I think
He played with KJ, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And whatchamacallit went there. I don't know if he stayed there. Silk the Shocker's son.
Did he?
He went. I think he left, but he lived in Calabasas. I know that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Silk the Shocker son? That's tight.
Silk the Shocker's son was better than Master P's. His son plays at Houston, right? Master P's son? Did he play at Houston?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Yeah, because he had one that played at Louisville and Xavier.
Right. He wasn't
First,
as good. Yeah. I can't keep track of all Master P's kids' names. That's I don't know what their Mercy.
Yeah, Mercy or Mercy.
Mercy. I can't keep.
It's Mercy's a freshman down there.
Okay.
Cassius Stanley also played at Sierra Canyon too, because I'm looking up the alumni right now.
They got some.
Hey, don't Silk son play for LSU?
Does he play there now?
He could. So, man. I swear somebody said it, but I didn't fact check it though.
I'd have to look it up here. My buddy
D Wade's son also played out there.
That's right, he did.
Yep, he did. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, Silk the Shock. Oh God. Wait a minute. One of Silk the Shocker's sons, he has his son Victorious plays at LSU, but he has another son named Little King. Other son is named Little King Miller.
So Victorious plays at LSU, right?
Yes.
That's why.
Yes.
Okay.
He was a 5-star.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn. Nobody gave Silk the Shocker the media run, man. That's crazy.
Because his raps were garbage. That's why.
Silk the Shocker is a legend, man.
He was so offbeat. He was like the most offbeat rapper. Like he would have been hot now.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time, man. That's all.
He was with all these Detroit rappers that like catch
he was ahead of his time, man. He's a legend, man.
That's a good point. That's
all, man. Just a little different. Sometimes he have a bad rap though, but most of this stuff, some of the stuff was legit. It would be offbeat though.
I would tell you what, no one had better album covers than that whole No Limit era.
Yeah, those covers are fire.
Neil, are you familiar with the No Limit album covers?
I think I've seen it maybe once or twice, but I'd have to have a refresher.
Okay. Yeah, there was some. Go look those up, like Skullduggery. Remember Skullduggery?
Yeah, Skullduggery. Hey, Skullduggery was so bad.
They were the worst. That had to be Master P's like cousins that he was trying to get them out of
the hood, for sure.
Out the hood. Like, hey, just talk on this
song. Rap a couple like a Skullduggery. Oh my God. He has a verse on a Fiend album that I memorized because it was so bad, and I was just like, whenever like I felt bad about stuff, it would cheer me up. Like it was on Fiend's second album. Oh my God, man, I need to think about the song. But long story short, dog, Skullduggery was terrible.
Skullduggery, Mia X.
Mia X was hey, she could rap. Mia X was a very good rapper.
Now. She's a chef. She's a chef now.
For real? She really a chef?
She lost weight. Yeah, she's
really
a
chef.
Huh?
I've seen she lost weight. Like she was on
Yeah.
something. I think it was like I think BET had like a no limit show, like a recap show.
Where are they now?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. She lost. Good for her, man.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, Neil. We're messing up the name
I
game.
know, mess up the name game.
We're sitting here talking about skullduggery.
It was Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker's son.
He messed it all up. This is the first time skullduggery has ever been mentioned on a podcast. I guarantee you.
Ain't nobody ever talked about skull. Nobody wants to know where skullduggery is right now.
He could be dead and nobody cares.
Nobody. He ain't even got a flyer. But man, I wonder where is skullduggery? Like, what is he doing? I hope he's skullduggery, man.
Man, hey,
Damn. I bet you
with a name
people.
like-
I bet you
with a
people
name
don't
like
believe
that,
he was a
it can't
rapper.
be good. Hey, I got sad news for you. Sad news for you.
Not skullduggery.
Skullduggery passed away on June 4th, 2022, at age 50.
Damn.
He was
Skullduggery.
announced dead by his niece. I can't even pronounce her name.
Wow, man. I can't even.
His death was not disclosed. Rest in peace, skullduggery. JT, can you pour out a little bit of whatever's in your cup for skullduggery?
Damn, man. Skullduggery passed. Oh, man. I can't
Hey,
even.
did you see that fake pour right there? He tried to pour it out knowing the cup's empty.
I can't pour it on my laptop.
Hey, we can't talk bad about the dead, so
Yeah, my bad, Skullduggery, man.
rest in peace, Skull.
That verse was trash, though. I'm thinking about. But man,
But that tells you what he was. We didn't even know he was dead. Like there was no Instagram post.
no, nobody alerted the masses about Skullduggery.
Man,
I'm glad. Hey, hopefully you up top, man. Hopefully you're able to, pass some blessings to the people.
Not with a name like Skullduggery. Number 32.
Number 32 is Nick Fiorillo.
How you say it?
Fiorillo.
Fiorillo. Now you said that.
Fiorillo.
Fiorillo.
Where's he from?
Scarborough, Maine.
How you say it? How you say it again, Neil?
Scarborough, Maine.
Scarborough, Maine. How do you say number 34, Noah Barnett? Obviously, his name's not crazy, but how do you say where he's from in New York?
Poughkeepsie. Poughkeepsie.
One more time, Neil, just for fun.
Where is this?
Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie.
He's from Poughkeepsie, New York. You can't be tough. Like
No way.
Poughkeepsie. Like there's no way you have any street cred.
Nah, you gotta roll with it, man. You can't let nobody trick you into being tough off that. You from Poughkeepsie. You got gates, everything there.
Yeah, you got a line. Be like, I'm from Queens. I'm from the Bronx.
Yeah, like New York, man. Like I went to New York. And I totally understood like why people would be so angry in New York. They don't got no damn grass and stuff, man. There ain't no space. Everything on top of each other. Like the boroughs, they ain't got no space. They ain't got no grass, dog. I'm talking about like fuck lawn care. Lawn care ain't getting no money in New York. Not in the heart of New York. You know what I mean?
None.
That's you keeping up bricks, concrete.
Poughkeepsie.
They got grass there.
They definitely have.
He got
grass.
peace of mind. He's a good kid.
Poughkeepsie. Last but not least, let's jump down to the basketball support staff, Assistant Director of Academic Services.
Namik Sevlik.
That was good.
Yeah, it was.
That was really good.
Yeah,
Namik Sevlik.
that was good, man.
That was good.
A1. That was A1 right there.
Now you're doing. This is why it's the name game with Neil Meyer. The name game with Neil Meyer, sponsored by Oakley Greens, the ultimate spot to catch your hometown team in every big game. With 6 giant LED screens and TVs at every angle, it's more than a sports bar. It's your entertainment headquarters. All the sports, all the time, all at Oakley Greens, located in Oakley Station next to the cinemas. You can check out their website, oakleygreens.com. And by the way, that place is super dope.
Super dope. Super dope.
JT, I know you had to go to you had to go to Zane's game, I believe, and you had to leave, but they gave us a tour of the whole place. Neil, tell them.
Hey, 36 holes of mini golf for those who are out there golfing, and that course is tough. And it's not your like easy, like your putt, like you got your little ramps and stuff and all your little obstacles. Nah, it is like I would be struggling out there. I would be struggling. But nah, I thought it would be a perfect spot to watch a game. Legit, like even on a Sunday for football season. I think they told us what Meach it holds like 1,400 people.
Yeah, that's right. He said that. Josh said that.
Damn, that's tough. Now you can see it though.
Get your boys out there. Get your friends, your family. Go out there and watch a game. It's a good environment for sure, especially in the summertime. Once this weather starts getting nice too, that back patio with the mini golf and then everything else they got. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a good summer for them out there at Oakley Greens. I know I'll be out there hanging out probably.
Yeah, well, shit. People will just come check out Neil Meyer. Neil Meyer. Building. I like it.
Neil about to be out there.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm definitely going to go out there a few times myself. But yeah, Neil going to be the poster child.
I know. Mm-hmm. Neil's outside.
I'm going to try and improve that mini golf game.
Okay. Was that your attempt at a putt right there we saw?
Yeah, a sitting putt.
A sitting putt.
I'm not a golfer, so I'm sure my first round of 36 holes is probably going to be like, it's going to be rough.
I'm not a golfer. I am so bad at golf.
Man.
Oh my God. It just doesn't make sense.
I'm terrible at golf, man.
You are?
Terrible. People
we need to
talk
go out
shit. That's the only thing I gotta improve on it because I just don't like I feel helpless. People be talking cash, and I'm like, I suck.
If we go golfing together, I'm telling you guys right now, I'm Happy Gilmore in every longest drive on that first one because I ain't strong enough to hit a good swing on one.
But they said you don't have to be strong. You just have to use your club. Right?
It's just the mechanics.
But the club, the mechanics. Let the club do the work.
Yeah,
right. Happy Gilmore in it. That first swing, I'm Happy Gilmore in it.
Yeah, good luck. The Kenyan segment. We gotta get to the Kenyan segment. My dog Kenyan.
Remember, we gotta get to it. My bad. We gotta get through. We
gotta get a Corey Blunt segment soon. Remember?
We do.
Yeah, we do. We just talked about that.
We're gonna add one of those. The Kenyan segment sponsored by my guy Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. This is where we cover the keys to the game. JT, what do the Bearcats need to do to win?
Man, all right. So Iowa State just out rebounded out of the ball against the Bearcats, being polite, being nice. But the Bearcats, man, they don't have to win the rebounding battle, but losing the rebound battle by 18, it's hard to beat any team that way. So they got to keep it within 5. You're on the road. I can take them losing the rebound battle, but if it's more than 5, man, yeah, who knows, man? I don't like it. Because the first time they played them, the score was 63-50. So I feel like the Bearcats are a better offensive team than they were that night, that day against Day and Fifth Third. But we got to rebound the damn ball, man, and that's going to be important. That's the one thing I'm looking at, and I just feel like the offense is going to hopefully be there, but they got to rebound the ball. 18. Losing by double digits, man, that's not Bearcat. That's not a part of the Bearcat DNA. And you can't win many games unless you just shoot the ball, like the damn laces off the ball or the damn leather off the ball. Pause. Otherwise, shit, that sounds like a loss. So rebound the ball.
Yeah, because anytime you have a stat like, you get killed on the boards, you have to make it up. And another stat that's just so, you know what I'm saying? It's just even another. Yep. So, but hopefully we're able to keep everything, balanced. Balance is the key.
Yeah, balance.
Balance is the key.
Neil. Level spelled level backwards. It's level. That's what we need.
Yeah, for me, I'm going to roll with keep.
That's deep. That's that. What's that mean? What does that mean from? Where that guy's like,
Man,
the African guy.
I seen it one night, man. It's like a video, and he's talking about like, is he talking about rapping or something? I don't know. The dude's like foreign, and he's talking about something. I need to find it again. He's like,
And he does that, and I'm like,
yeah,
that is everywhere.
yeah.
All right, sorry, Neil. Do you even
No.
know what that is? Do you know what we're talking about? Probably
I
not.
do not.
Don't
You know that meme, man. You gotta
Yeah.
know that meme.
Just let
That's
let
a
him.
part. That's a part of your age group too. That's a new meme.
It is. All right, Neil, go ahead.
Yeah,
Bearcats.
but for me, I think for Cincinnati, in order to win this game, is you simply have to take care of the basketball. In the first matchup, they turned the ball over 14 times. Cincinnati did, and on top of that, 14 times, West Virginia turned the ball over 13 times. You're only able to get 13 points off turnovers on that aspect. I want to see Cincinnati keep the turnover mark under 10 in this one. So you sat at 14 in game one. I want to see it keep that number under 10 because, especially in a game like this on the road, a midweek game coming off the performance you had at Iowa State, and with the potential of being shorthanded, obviously we'll know more tomorrow, but with the potential of this team being shorthanded, you're going to have to protect the ball, especially on the road. And West Virginia is good at home. So overall, just protecting the ball, that's going to be the biggest thing. Because if you get out sloppy, pause, and you give the ball away in a matchup like this with both teams on the bubble, one team's going to want it more, and it's more than likely most of the time it's the home team that takes advantage of those opportunities. And for Cincinnati, it's going to start with taking care of the basketball.
The Kenyon segment is sponsored by Greg Hooden at Beachmont Toyota. I'm gonna say, for me, key to the game, what you guys said are spot on. I'm gonna say let's score 80 points or more. Let's get back to, I think we scored 70 versus Iowa State. Is that right?
70. Yep.
Let's add 10 onto that. Let's win this basketball game. I think we just gotta, kind of get out there and score on the road. And Jizzle, like we've talked about, has been doing well. But who else can we get to step up? Will that be Day Day? Will that be Tyler Betsy? We need to get that. Not only do we need to get that second, player to play it, maybe not play at the level Jizzle is right now, but just secondary right behind that, and then that third player to kind of step up, which I was hoping CMOS would sometime, develop into that guy that's either in that second or third position, but he just hasn't and hurt now. So I'm hoping Day Day steps up and we can get, a guy like Tyler Betsy to step in and get 80 points or more. I think we win the basketball game. The Kenyon segment, Keys to the Game, was sponsored by Greg Hooden and Beachmont Toyota. Come see fellow Bearcat Greg Hooden and Beachmont Toyota for all your new and pre-owned Toyota needs. Look for Greg Hooden on Instagram and Twitter at Cincy Greg Hooden. Hooden is spelled Hoodin. Or come see Greg at Beachmont Toyota. Always ready to help our Bearcat family get into a new Toyota. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahue Accounting Services. It's the Twyman segment, sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. This is where we cover hot topics. And in my opinion, one of the hottest topics in sports right now. Every time I turned on the TV, they were talking about it. Every time I turned on the radio. And I'm not sure why this game is so scrutinized compared to other All-Star games. And that is the NBA All-Star game. They seem to not be able to get this game right. My question, JT, Neil, should the NBA just say forget it and cancel the All-Star game? JT, we'll start with you.
Nah, don't cancel it, but they gotta go back to the old school format, man. They tinkering with it too much. That format they had yesterday, this weekend was T-rash. But just play ball, man. Go east-west and roll with it that way, man. Stop messing around with it, man. I understand you try to change it up, but whoever's making the decisions, it's tweaking. Like, bro, they played 3 games to 40 for an All-Star game. Like, that ain't it. So And for the weekend, the 3-point contest is the show. Skills competition just do single players. And damn it, get more than 4 people to do the dunk contest, but can you get some stars in there? Can people not? Can we get the Ja Morant, Zion Williamsons, people that people want to see? Like, no disrespect to Mac McClung. He's a hell of a dunker. Probably would win majority of the time. He's a killer. But damn it, like I like Stephon Castle. I think he's gonna be a star in the making. But can we get people that people actually know without having to be a hardcore fan? Like that's what's killing the damn weekend. I mean, you got me dunking out there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like
You
nobody
know
give a
what?
fuck if they don't want to see me dunk.
I was thinking about this. You know what would be cool to do? What if the NBA said, okay, here are the top shoe companies: Jordan, Nike, Puma, Converse, Adidas. Take your top players from each particular shoe company, have them participate in the dunk competition, and the winner gets paid. Now you got your guy to me that's marketing right there. So like if you tell Jordan Brand, like we're gonna highlight your guy, whatever. Nike,
Yeah,
we're gonna highlight you, like Ja Morant, like he's the Nike guy. Going
yeah,
to Zion, then
Jordan.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
we
thought
got.
that would have been a cool concept.
Yeah, that actually is a cool concept. Because they gotta do something, man, on as a whole. Because the NBA was the one that always had it right, and I feel like lately
Yeah.
they've been the one that's getting it.
It's totally wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been
And-
getting it totally wrong. But it's fixable though. It's fixable. But they have to get some people just to be like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
yep.
People don't want to lose. People too cool, man. That's the thing. People too cool. They brands, they act like
Yep.
it's gone. Like the branding is, they're so big. They get so much money. It's a gift and a curse. Like the hardcore fan is missing out, and then people are paying a lot of money to go to these all-star games and stuff, but it's not giving what it used to.
Yep.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? But that's what they got to do, though. They got to get people. They got dunkers. People know that'll fix it for one, and people that can make the dunk within the first attempt or two at worst case scenario. That's what's missing. I mean, Mac, he makes his. He's damn near on point every time. But I mean, people taking 10 tries to make a dunk. That ain't gonna get it. And then they got to go back to the old format. They getting too cute with the format, and
Yep.
that was, it had some good stuff in it, but overall, you want to see them ball. Hopefully, they just play a little bit tougher. Now, they don't have to play like an NBA playoff game, but play a little bit tougher at times.
Yep. Neil.
Yeah, overall, I'm there with JT on the East and West kind of things. I think the mini tournament was kind of stupid because if you look down at the analytics from the weekend, they played 40 minutes of basketball between the total of mini games in 3.5 hours. Think about that. Like 40 minutes of play in 3.5 hours. Like if I'm a fan paying that kind of money to go out there for an all-star weekend, which everybody knows is not cheap, I would low-key be kind of pissed to see the guys that made the all-star game to play only 40 minutes compared to a 3.5, 4-hour event, and you're only getting what, a fourth of your money essentially. So that's kind of how I saw that aspect, but it was kind of disappointing too to kind of see like an hour before the game you find out LeBron's not playing, Anthony Edwards isn't playing. Like obviously everybody knows LeBron's going to be out at the All-Star game. Everybody knows that. But that's probably something you would want out a little bit earlier in terms of like injury replacements or something. Obviously, this was something that popped up that day for LeBron. But still, probably if you're going out there to an All-Star game, everybody's going to want to watch LeBron play just because he's up there in GOAT conversations with guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and a couple others there in the GOAT category. But overall, I do think they have to go back to East and West, and I'm there with JT on the dunk contest. You got to get some kind of help outside of that because Mac McClung's been carrying the dunk contest since 2023.
Which is crazy.
And to think about it, Mac McClung has made more money by winning the dunk contest than he
Yeah.
has his whole salary in the G League.
That's
Yeah.
wild. That's wild.
But I was a fan of the dunk contest. I thought Stephon Castle probably could have made a good argument to win that dunk contest too, but jumping over a car in round 1 is crazy. I don't think anybody had that on a bingo card for round 1, but jumping over a car in any kind of element is kind of like ungodly human. Like, it's unhuman to do that, but overall, I think definitely if you get a dunk contest with the likes of Mac McClung, Ja Morant, Stephon Castle, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it's Zion Williamson and a couple others out there, you could definitely throw Anthony Edwards into category for a dunk contest as well. I think a lot more fans are going to go out there to see that dunk contest compared to guys like Matas Buzulis, who couldn't even get the dunk right on the first try, or the other guy from Milwaukee. So overall, if you get the high profile guys in a dunk contest, I'm telling you, your ratings will be probably near, I wouldn't say double than what they were for this past dunk contest, but your ratings will go up for sure.
The Twyman segment is sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. Listen, I'm not here to say I got all the answers, but I've got a couple thoughts and ideas. So I'll start back to my dunk competition and 3-point shooting idea, and that is to have the shoe companies battle it out. So Anthony Edwards is an Adidas guy?
Yeah.
Adidas guy.
Right? Zion, Nike. I'm sorry, Jordan. John Morant, Nike. I'm not even sure who's on the Puma side.
LaMelo Ball's on Puma. I don't know who else is on
Puma.
Puma.
From a dunk standpoint.
Yeah.
But you can then take
somebody.
So let's say they don't, if maybe they want to put LaMelo in the 3-point shooting or the skill. So it would be a battle of the brands, because the shoe brands are important, for the NBA and for marketing. And so maybe there's some incentive for, a Zion with the brand Jordan winning. Like, maybe there's some incentive behind that. Now, onto the game itself. The complaint has always been it's not been a competitive game, which I think there are a lot of things in concert with that, and why it's not competitive all the time. Guys aren't trying. Well, listen, if you played in the Olympics, then you play a regular season, then you've got playoffs. That's a long time. Your body's broken down, and now you're telling somebody to play hard in the playoff and in the All-Star game.
Yeah,
guys are like, man, come on. Now, here's how I think you could, flip it. Now, All-Star break. Maybe give them a little bit longer of a time off. Okay, give them a bigger window. I'm not sure how many days they have off for that All-Star break. Give them a little bit longer, and so go back to the East-West format, but then tie in the players' charities into the game, right? So All-Star Weekend will help promote players' charities. So let's say on the West you've got LeBron James, and LeBron James obviously has his foundation for his kids and all that stuff. And Russell Westbrook, if he makes the All-Star game, he does a lot. He does a lot of charity work. People don't even know that. But let's say that if the West wins, they get a pot of money that goes to their charities. And each team, their captains have an opportunity to talk about their charities. Maybe have commercials during the All-Star game or some interviews where players talk about their charities. I think it gives them more incentive to want to be there, because almost every player that's on that court has a charity, has a foundation, and they want to get it out, and they want to bring more money to that. So why not maybe tie that in, and then the winning West or East gets a pot of money that goes to her. Maybe they'll play harder because they want to win, and they want, $300,000 to go to their charity.
Yeah.
Just try to think. I try to get a positive spin on it, to where, like, hey, you're promoting something positive these players are doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's the answer, but I think it'd be something for them to look at. Not that
for sure.
Not that they would give a shit about my idea.
All right. Gotta do something. Gotta do
I
something.
mean, you
No,
got to
that's
find a way. But see, but here's the thing: is like when you throw money at the guys, like that's one thing. But then if you give them a chance to promote something they're passionate about, I think that's a little bit different. So
yeah, you're right.
that's my thought. The Twyman segment was sponsored by Visionary Cleaners. Visionary Cleaners is a locally owned company by former Bearcat student athletes. They specialize in high quality commercial cleaning of businesses, apartments, and pre and post construction cleans. They can be reached at 513-388-7816 or contacted online at visionarycleaners.com. Fellas, this concludes another great podcast. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Donahoe Accounting Services, Smart Dog Solutions, Greg Hood and Beachmont Toyota, Visionary Cleaners, Purple Monkey Projects, and our folks over at Oakley Greens. Before we get off real quick, I got something for you, JT.
Oh,
Can you hear that?
I hear the beat, but I can't hear it all the way.
That's skullduggery, baby. Skull's going to take us out. You're listening to the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast, presented by Donahoe Accounting Services and soundtracked by Skullduggery. The song's called Heat. For friendly expert tax advice, should I wrap this part? For friendly expert tax advice whenever you my bad. Let me stop. For friendly expert tax advice whenever you need it, come to Donahoe Accounting Services, a leading accounting firm in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our top-notch accountants help you resolve all your financial and tax issues. Call Donahoe Accounting Services today for a free consultation at, ready? 513-528-3982 or visit online DonahoeAccountingService.com. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Bearcat Tip-Off Talk podcast presented by Donahoe Accounting Services. Go Bearcats. Hey.